My name's Dave Dixon. I'm a retired police officer from the UK. Before I start, I'd like to speak out to my ex-colleagues, my current colleagues, the colleagues from all around the world, both in the police, the security services and the armed services. You are taught and trained to think critically. You follow a motto of to protect and serve. It is time you started to protect and not just serve. You have the skills, you have the knowledge, and you have access to the information to see the crimes that are being committed. None of the information that is out there to see what these crimes are is hidden. Everybody can see it if they look. As police officers, you know better. You have a duty of care. It is time to be silent no more. It is time to stand up and ask questions. It is time to start protecting the public you swore a duty to protect.
Amen!
If you want to know what crimes have been committed, all you need to do is to start with the state of emergency that was called illegally in this province. In order to call a state of emergency, there has to be a provable case that we have an emergency. All you need to do is look on Stats Canada's website or Alberta Health's websites and use their own information, the information that they put out there every day. During a normal flu season, we have an average of between 179 and 215 cases. We all know what cases are. We'll never forget what a case is. So influenza is just as deadly as most diseases of this type. Between 179 and 215 cases on average every year in Alberta. When was the last time we called a state of emergency?
Never.
So, in order to call a state of emergency, we must have had thousands of cases per 100,000 in this province. To date, going right back from our worst day, from day one when the state of emergency was called, when we had 0.3 cases per 100,000. That was what triggered the state of emergency.
Crazy!
On our worst day in Alberta, we have reached the astronomical height of 71 cases per 100,000. Dina Hinshaw, where is your documentation and proof that allowed you to take control of this province? It's on the top of every single one of your orders. You have the evidence because you can't write those orders without it. It's time for you to produce that evidence. All the information you publish daily shows right now our average cases per 100,000 for the whole of COVID is 24.
So a state
For
of emergency.
flu, it is 200 plus. Why are we locked down? Also, let's just assume all your figures are right and you're doing the wonderful job, Kenny and Hinshaw, that you say. Explain to me then why we are the second worst province for cases per 100,000. The only province with more cases per 100,000, as pitiful as they are, is Quebec. Even Ontario has a lower case per 100,000. Just go onto Canada's own website, their own statistics, and you can see it. So if that's the case, pardon the pun, then how did we call a state of emergency? If there was no state of emergency, everything that has happened since then, under the authority of that initial state of emergency, from the passing of Bill 1, Bill 10, Bill 24, the changes to the Provincial Health Act, the lockdowns, the debts, the avoidable debts, the closures of businesses, the removal of all our civil liberties was done without any authority. If you want to look to right the crime, that's where you need to start. And I call upon all police officers, all senior police officers, all politicians who still have a pair, to actually stand up and ask these questions. This information isn't hidden. This information isn't secret. This information isn't a conspiracy theory. It's on your own website.
Throw up here and research.
And for all of you walking around in masks, doing your little bit because it's just easier, now is the time to actually wake up and do some research. If you want to believe what is happening, then just look at their own facts. There is no need to talk about or think about conspiracy theories of agenda this or agenda that. All you have to do is look at the facts they have and produce every single day, and ask yourself, why, with 200 cases per 100,000, did we never lock down anywhere? But now, with 24 per 100,000, we have destroyed society. Let our elderly die in isolation, where doctors are refused access during outbreaks, where one person, one member of staff just needs a member of their own family to test positive, and they will close a whole healthcare centre. During that time, all medical access is removed. These people are dying. What has happened in healthcare centres is going to happen next in schools. It's already started. Again, I'm calling to all my colleagues, present, future and past, do your research and start to protect and serve the people, not the politicians. Thank you.